It begins with a small promise. Tomorrow you will wake up earlier, delete the old files, and finally become the person you meant to be. You buy the notebook, rearrange the room, download the app, name the plan. Preparation feels clean, immediate, and strangely powerful. Before any real work happens, you already feel lighter. That relief can look exactly like motivation, which is why the pattern is difficult to see. Sometimes you are excited to change your life. Sometimes you are excited to escape the uncomfortable version of your life that already exists. This is not addiction in the clinical sense. It is a reward and avoidance loop. Discomfort appears, a new beginning offers fast emotional relief. A new workout plan, a new business, a new city in your head, a new relationship before the old grief is understood. The loop stays quiet because starting over is socially admired. People applaud the announcement. They rarely witness what is abandoned afterward. Beginnings are intoxicating because nothing has gone wrong yet. The plan is still perfect. Your future self has not disappointed you. At 0, every path still feels possible. You can imagine the result without confronting repetition, feedback, boredom, or the awkward middle. Anticipation can reward you before the work produces anything. Naming, shopping, researching, and reorganizing all create movement you can feel immediately. You may not love the new life. You may love its trailer, the transformation montage with every boring scene removed. Mondays, birthdays, and January 1st can help separate an old chapter from a new one. Sometimes that psychological landmark is genuinely useful. The danger begins when the landmark matters more than the behavior. You become loyal to perfect first days instead of imperfect second weeks. The person who missed the deadline or skipped the gym becomes the old you. The new you receives a clean record. Continuing means meeting the evidence, missed weeks, weak drafts, and promises you made. Shame would rather remove the evidence than survive seeing it. In the middle, results depend on time, feedback, other people, and uncertainty. At the beginning, you control almost everything. Perfectionism does not always demand perfection. Sometimes it whispers that this attempt is contaminated and deserves a cleaner beginning. A single bad day becomes proof that the entire system failed. Instead of adjusting the plan, you sentence it. Eventually, novelty expires. The work repeats, progress becomes hard to notice, and your mind starts producing alternatives that feel alive again. After criticism, loneliness, conflict, or disappointment, a new plan can rapidly change your emotional temperature before it changes your circumstances. That is the emotional bargain. Surrender continuity, receive innocence. Nothing is finished, but nothing can be judged yet either. You can spend hours designing systems for work you will not do. Busyness creates innocence. You were moving, so how could you be avoiding? Another tutorial lets you approach competence without risking exposure. Knowledge becomes the waiting room instead of the doorway. Delete every app. Unfollow everyone. Rename every folder. The screen looks cleaner, but the feeling quietly logs back in with you. A new person has not seen your defenses yet. New chemistry can make the old problem look like it belonged to the old partner. Then intimacy reaches the same locked door. Different face, different story, familiar fear. The reset delayed the meeting. It did not prevent it. The next song, channel, brand, or concept will finally represent you. So the archive grows while the audience never meets the work. Calling every attempt a draft protects the fantasy of your real potential. The real project remains perfect because it never arrives. Even self-improvement can become a polite form of self-rejection. You keep building the person who deserves to live later. The hidden cost is not the abandoned planner. It is lost compounding. Skills deepen through return, not repeated introduction. Every restart resets your evidence. You never discover whether you can recover from a bad week because the experiment keeps ending early. After enough cycles, your own declarations stop sounding believable. Beneath the excitement, a quieter voice says, "We have heard this before." When the new beginning loses its charge, shame returns stronger. Now you carry the original disappointment and another broken promise. Some jobs, relationships, routines, and goals should end. Persistence can become fear wearing a medal. Staying is not automatically courage. Necessary endings protect health, values, and reality. The question is not whether you quit. The question is what quitting protects. What excites you most, the new direction itself, or the immediate relief of no longer being responsible for the old one? Ask what pattern will follow you into the next beginning. If it appears in every room, the setting is not the only variable. Healthy change moves you toward a value even after excitement fades. Avoidant restarting mainly moves you away from discomfort. Before replacing the whole life, ask what a repair would look like. One conversation, one boundary, one smaller schedule. Change one variable before changing your identity. Reduce the workload. Move the deadline. Ask for help. Test the problem instead of dramatizing it. When the urge follows a bad day, do not let a temporary state write permanent policy. Record the idea. Do not announce it. If it is safe to wait, give the dramatic decision 72 hours. Urgency often changes shape once the emotional weather passes. Do not only picture the new beginning. Picture its third month. Repetition, compromise, feedback, and boredom. Do you still choose it? A choice becomes more honest when the middle is included. The goal is not to eliminate discomfort. It is to choose meaningful discomfort. Choose one project you are forbidden to restart. You may revise, shrink, pause, or change the method, but keep its continuity. The same imperfect project should remember your missed days and returns. Continuity begins when the evidence is allowed to remain. On days when the full plan collapses, define the smallest action that still counts as staying. 5 minutes, 1 paragraph, 1 message. Intensity makes a dramatic story. Continuity makes a life. Returning quietly may matter more than any perfect streak. Decide what finished means before perfectionism renegotiates the contract. Completion needs a door, or your standards will keep moving the wall. A system designed only for your most motivated mood is a fantasy. Build a version for fatigue, conflict, and boredom. Write down what happened before the reinvention urge. Criticism, comparison, silence, fatigue. The trigger often tells the truth first. Stop saying, "I never fall off." Try, "I am someone who returns." The first identity is fragile. The second includes reality. Share the unfinished version with one safe person. Not for applause, for continuity. A witness makes quiet replacement harder. Some days will feel psychologically quiet. No revelation, montage, or visible transformation. Just a small deposit into a future you cannot see. You may need to grieve the timeline, fantasy, or person you expected to become. Grief can renovate a life without demolishing it. The imperfect middle proves boredom did not kill you. A mistake did not define you. And a pause did not require a funeral. Maybe you do not need another identity or dramatic first day. Maybe you need a second Tuesday after a disappointing Monday. Starting over feels clean. Continuing feels human. It carries fingerprints, corrections, embarrassing attempts, and proof that you can remain. Before you delete, quit, rename, or announce the next you, ask, do I need a new beginning or courage to continue? Sometimes growth is not becoming someone new. It is returning to the same page with kinder eyes. This is Human Static.